YNW Melly got so much heat up his ass, it's almost impossible not to have heard about it. The rapper has spent the last 4 years behind bars, awaiting his trial on murder charges, and at some point, it seemed like things would turn out for the best, until that reality became a dream. Every day for Melly looks like a step closer to the end, and with how his trial is going, he might end up like Suge Knight, or even worse. Keep watching till the end of this video to see what's really happening to YNW Melly in his murder trial. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. YNW Melly's arrest. In February 2019, YNW Melly was arrested and charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder. It was reported that Melly and another rapper, YNW Bortlin, killed 2 of their friends and made the crime scene look like a drive-by shooting. The victims were Anthony Williams, aka YNW Juvie, 21, and 19-year-old Christopher Thomas Jr., aka YNW Sack Chaser, who were both pursuing their rap careers before Melly and Bortlin allegedly killed them. Now, after the tragic incident, YNW Melly paid tribute to the 2 by tweeting, "They took my brothers from me over jealousy." He said the pair's shooters want to see me break down and stop, or in jail, or in a box. A couple of months after their passing, YNW Melly became a prime suspect in the investigations and had to turn himself in. He was charged with 2 counts of first-degree murder, to which he pleaded not guilty. 3 years later, the rapper still maintains his plea of not guilty. However, the law seems to catch up with him by the second, and it looks like the angel of death is hanging around his shoulder, waiting to take him away. Evidence incriminating YNW Melly. With all of the heat on YNW Melly's case, his fans are trying to wrap their heads around what evidence the prosecution has built against him that would warrant the death penalty coming to bite him in the ass again. Well, guess what? They actually have a shitload of evidence against the rapper. It's almost hard not to find him guilty of the crime he committed. In October 2021, the prosecution asked a Broward County judge to have YNW Melly submit an oral swab so they could determine if his saliva was a match to DNA found on a yellow jacket from the crime scene. But according to reports, the prosecutors submitted a 66-page report on DNA evidence after getting the results. The state of Florida has now submitted supplementary discovery, which means they have now basically sent to YNW Melly's lawyers, "Hey, these are additional evidence that we didn't send y'all before," DJ Academics revealed in one of his videos. By the time you get to trial, as a prosecutor, you gotta send the defendant everything you're going to use against them in court so they can prepare a legal defense. Now, what the state attorney just provided to YNW Melly's defense team is a whole lot of pages on DNA. Aside from the DNA results, the state has cell phone records tracing YNW Melly's location when the murder occurred. There's a large amount of forensic evidence linking the rapper to the crime, enough that the state plans to use some experts in crime scene reconstruction, footwear impressions, and more as witnesses. They also want to drive the jury along the actual path they claim YNW Melly and Bortlin took. Sounds like they are really coming for YNW Melly. The ballistics of the shooting show that all the shots came from Melly's position in the car. They have surveillance footage basically showing Melly getting into the car in that same position. They also have the ballistics from the drive-by. But that wasn't all crazy, right? They also discovered used shells underneath the floorboard where Melly was sitting. He is described as a heartless, ruthless individual, and prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. During an interview with DJ Academics, his manager revealed that the documents and the 66 pages of DNA reports were nothing to worry about. But I honestly doubt that very much. The state has access to much of Melly's social media and may point to several Instagram messages from the day of the murder as incriminating. In particular, one Instagram exchange took place hours after the killings, as obtained via a public records request. In the Instagram chats, Melly's account says, "I did that," in one message, followed 2 minutes later by There is no definitive proof in the rest of the exchange that the DMs are referring to Juvie and Sack Chaser's murders. However, the state will likely use the timing and content to make those messages amount to an admission for Melly of his guilt. It's pretty difficult for his fans to deny that the prosecution is out for blood. YNW Melly's case probable to death penalty. YNW Melly may be closer to facing the death penalty because of a new change in his murder case. The state prosecutors filed a motion to follow a new statute that allows jurors to recommend a death sentence with an 8-4 vote. The judge overseeing the case, Broward Circuit Judge John Murphy, sided with the prosecutors. This meant that the 12-person jury involved in Melly's case no longer needed to agree to give him the death penalty unanimously. The rapper will be one of the first people tried under this new rule. The law was signed into effect by Florida Governor Ron DeSantis in April as a response to a verdict that spared the life of the Parkland shooter. Apparently, Florida is now one of 3 states that do not require unanimity for the death penalty. The chances of YNW Melly getting out of prison keep getting shorter by the day. The charges stem from prosecutors' claims that Melly and his co-defendant, YNW Portland, killed 2 members of their own YNW crew in South Florida in October and staged their deaths to look like a drive-by shooting. The state says it can prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Melly killed his friends for financial gain, that the murder was especially heinous, atrocious, or cruel, and that he committed homicide in the cold, calculated, and premeditated manner. The state also believes Melly is a criminal gang member. I don't think anyone or a rapper would ever want to wear the shoes of YNW Melly, because it's almost like he's in an unending nightmare, and he's not waking up anytime soon. Before YNW Melly surrendered himself to police, he posted a photo to Instagram with a caption suggesting he was falsely accused. The caption read, "I am turning myself in today. I want you guys to know I love you and appreciate every single one of y'all." He wrote, "A couple months ago I lost my 2 brothers by violence, and now the system want to find justice. Unfortunately, a lot of rumors and lies are being said, but no worries, God is with me and my brother at YNW Portland." YNW Melly's lawyers appealed to the Florida Supreme Court, asking them to overturn the ruling that said the rapper could face the death penalty if convicted in his upcoming murder trial. The rapper's lawyers urged Florida's top court to tackle the case and rule that prosecutors had forfeited the right to seek the death penalty. They say the government failed to give Melly and his attorneys proper notice that they planned to do so, violating strict procedural rules. In making their argument to the state high court, the rapper's lawyers said the justices should take the case because it raises issues of great public importance beyond Melly's charges. Do you think YNW Melly really killed his friends? Join the conversation and let us know in the comment section below. That's the end of today's video, guys. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe for more content. Thanks.